Bridging the gap. Nyomi Banks, the goddess. Tune in. Hey yo, Black, where we at? Elements. Got a problem? What's the issue? Ask Nyomi for advice, she will bless you. Is it sex, love, or relationships? If your spirits are down, you can get a daily uplift. Just listen every word that she speaks. Setting trends with hashtags for every day of the week. Hashtag motivational Mondays, testimonial Tuesdays. I've been listening for the last 2 days. Wet Willie or Wisdom Wednesdays. Either way, the conversation gon' be lengthy. It's not hearsay. This is her way. You know she'll keep you thirst trapping on a Thursday. 4 days down, I'll talk about the number 5 day. Never coy, she always keeps it freaky on Fridays. Spiritual on Saturdays with sessions in the morning. Still uplifting and inspiring you all in. Being the goddess that she is, she keeps you all in. Formed on soul searching Sundays, just call in. If you misinformed, come get the facts. Fortunate for you, she's looking to bridge the gap. Yes, she was a porn star, but she's more than that. She's a certified specialist teaching us how to act. By the end of the show, we'll agree to disagree, but be good to each other and ourselves and keep it sexy. Yeah. Tune in every week to Ask Nyomi. Bridging the gap with Nyomi Banks and Dog Pound Mike. Don't miss it. Tune in.
Hey, my sexy people, what's going on? I miss you guys. I miss y'all so much. It's been like 2 weeks. Two weeks. Well, welcome to Ask Nyomi Bridging the Gap podcast. Is where we talk about love, sex, relationship, cultural differences, and so much more while bridging the gap between them all and teaching the world on sex, language, attitude, and so much more. All right, so let me tell you guys. First, I want to apologize to you guys because 2 weeks ago, we actually had an internet with a surge or down. Like it was down for most of the day, like all day long it was down. And of course, last week was Thanksgiving and we were spending time with family. Well, hopefully you guys had a great time, but we back. You back, Mike?
Yes, I'm here. I'm
you're
back.
real quiet.
I'm working over here.
I hear you. Mm-hmm. You working over there. All right. So let me guys tell you about this topic that we're going to talk about today, and it truly hit home. What's happening at this moment right now is that yesterday I had a very teachable moment, and not only that, because even though all you guys know that I've been working very hard to be the best me that I can possibly be. And through my transition of me growing in life and going through this spiritual journey, sometimes we are tested. We're tested on certain things. So let me say this. You guys know I pray and I meditate, every morning. And in my prayer, I always ask God to surround me with people that can truly help me to do what my purpose is, or help me to do what work that you need for me to do for you. And I also ask, please remove those in peace. Please remove those in peace that doesn't mean any service for me or doesn't mean any good to me. Okay. And also in my prayer, I ask him to lead me and I will follow. I will not question you again. And that's what's been happening to me for the past few weeks. As people are coming into my life, he's removing people out of my life. And yesterday I was tested on this. I'm not going to say that I failed, but my reaction to it, I didn't think my reaction was going to be that. Because I had that, what do you call that? That sign or that to tell me that season has passed with that person.
Okay.
But I want you guys to take a look, because I saw this yesterday. It was so ironic that I saw this yesterday. I'm gonna let y'all listen to it. I'm gonna break it down how things happen and how we can truly relate with this. So let me tell you what the topic is today. The topic for tonight is how do you know when the season is over in relationships. And I'm not just talking about in a love and a couple relationship. I'm talking about period. I'm talking about with friends. I'm talking about with family members. I'm talking about with work associates. You understand what I'm saying? I'm talking about from the full gear. But I want you to listen to this that I heard Tyler Perry say yesterday. But the thing is I heard this same thing. I think it was a few years ago that I heard it. And it was happening at the exact same time that God was removing people from my life. And don't think about the production, because I kind of did it kind of bootleg, until I'm able to afford the right production to be able to do it. But I want you to, Mike, to show them this video so they can hear and they can listen to this video, and then we're gonna come back. Okay. All right.
You're going to. So don't be afraid. And if I can leave you with anything, I want to leave you with this. Hear me clearly when I say this. There are people who come in your life sometimes to be there for a season. They weren't meant to be there always. Sometimes we find ourselves hooked up with people that we think are there for a lifetime, but they were only supposed to be there for a season. There are people who come in your life like boosters for a rocket. If you ever watch a rocket go into space, the boosters fall off when it reaches a certain altitude. Some people are not equipped to handle the altitudes that you're going to. So don't be afraid when they fall off. They're not bad people. They just couldn't go where you're going.
Yes. So let me tell you about this one. When I heard that, and I heard it early on in the day, in the morning. I heard that early in the morning when I came out of my meditation room, as I call it the Golden Rose Room is what I call it. It's a room where I go every morning and I sit, and I sit at my altars and I pray and I meditate, and it kind of keep me at peace, and it kind of helps guide me through this journey that I'm going through. But I was going back and forth with one of my baby boos, one of my special people that I call her, and I remember I got this text from somebody, and then I got a message from her stating that she wasn't feeling well, that her head was hurting. And I know that I mentioned to you guys early on that I'm very sensitive to people energy. So I'm able, especially if I'm connected to you, I can feel your energy. And as soon as she texted that to me, I was like, oh my God, I don't feel good either. And she instantly thought it was her, but something was like, no, that's not her. And then I said, because I received another text before that. And, but that wasn't a text. But then probably like 5 minutes later, when I say I was sick, I had a headache. I felt dizzy. My stomach was hurt. Like I felt like I needed to throw up. Okay. So let me go back. Let me go back to the meditation, because I have to give y'all the steps on how this goes. So let's go back. So I was up. I had a dream. The night before. Okay. And in that dream, it was a dream that made me some. And usually when I get up, I usually write my dreams down in my dream book. I didn't this time. But when I woke up and I turned over, I saw it was 222. 222. I said, okay, it must mean something. All right. Mind you, on Wednesdays, I don't go into my prayer room until later on in the day. So I get in my room and I get the cleaning up, wiping off altars and just trying to get to kind of center myself to sit in the moment. So now when I look at my phone to get ready to start with my session, it says 444. I'm like, okay. All right. So this truly telling me something. So I was like, okay, I'm ready for whatever that I'm getting ready to receive. Okay. So as I'm going through and messages are coming across to me, and I'm being checked on some of the things that I've done, that I've been doing, that I'm not believing in. You understand? You understand what I'm saying? But then towards the end is where I began to pray, because it said, now it's time for you to start to gather the people around that needs to be doing this, that needs to be for this journey that you're on. Know that there's other people that is a part of your journey. that's a part of the collective journey that is bigger than you. And it's now time for you to start gathering them. And at this moment, I start naming people names out of my mouth on who should be in that gathering of that circle. And there was a few people that were very close to me, but there were not, that he said, no, they're not. And me, I've always looked at, okay, it's never a bad thing, that it's always because maybe God has something else for them, is not a line of what I have. You understand? So even I'm downstairs and I'm talking and I'm saying, well, that person God probably has something else for that person. And God probably has something else for that person. And God probably has something else for that person. And maybe they're not supposed to be a part of this, and I left it like that. So now fast forward back to what I told you about me feeling sick. And so I get this text. And I get this text from this loved one who I love. And when I say I love this person, I truly do love this person. But what happened yesterday, there was no coming back from it for me, because that was a sign for God is telling me, you didn't listen to me before when I showed you something, and I'm going to show you again. I'm going to show you again. And he showed me again. And when I say when the text came through and I read the text, and I'm not going to tell y'all what the text said, but when I read the text, I knew it was something like, so all these years that you've been in my life, you truly didn't know who I was. You questioned my character or my love for you. I mean, when I said that I was shaking, my hands and stuff was shaking because I was so upset. Because yet again, it was another family member. It was yet again another family member that I was one of those biggest fans of theirs. I am not a victim. I'm going to say that here. I am not a victim. Because when I finally did get a chance to talk to her, I told her I did not want to talk to her ever again in life. Because I felt it was too many times that she kept coming for me. And I didn't know why. But in that moment, I understood. And when I say this, I can be very honest and very candid. Like I told you, this is authentic conversation that we have right here. I've been weighing my truth for so long of who I am. For so long that it does make people feel uncomfortable. I'm not saying that she felt uncomfortable. No, it's not. Because a lot of those times she was riding right along with me, right beside me when I was coming up. She was right there with me, holding my hand, cheering me on. She was right there with me. And that's why it was surprising and it shocked me on what happened. And it shook me because I just shared something with the world on something that, yet again, it's a transition that I'm looking for the world to see me in a different light. The first one was my fashion show. I went back to one of my first love, and that was designing. And when I say, when I did these fashion shows, I went through so much anxiety. I went through so much anxiety that my body shut down and everything, because I wanted to make sure that I was worthy of this, because I knew what I did. You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And I asked everybody to come in celebration of me. Mind you, through this whole time, I've always shared whatever that I was doing with my family, friends, all the time. Whatever opportunity that I have, I've given those opportunities to my friends and my family. Never has I ever was afraid that anybody was outshining me. Actually, I would love for them to outshine me, especially in something that they do so great. I would speak into everybody. I would speak into everybody. And if anybody just met me now, 5 years ago, 10 months ago, whatever, I will speak into you. And when I mean I was speaking into you, I will speak to how great you can be, how great you are. Let me say this. I am not sitting on no high horse. I'm the last one to do that. But what I am saying is that we have to know when the season is over. And I didn't know when the season was over. God had to hurt my feelings for me to see that that season was over with that loved one. So I know a lot of you right now are in these relationships with people. Are you sitting right next and you friends with somebody, or you with a coworker and you steady talking with them, hanging with them, and they still doing you a certain way? That means that season is over. It don't matter if they family, friend, fan, or foe. That season is over. So it's like, how do we heal from that? How do we heal from that? That clip that Tyler Perry had, that made it make sense to me. That they are not bad people. They're just not going where you're going. And I can be very honest. On their ship, I could have been one of that's falling off. You understand what I'm saying? But I only can speak on my truth of what it is for me and what God put in me to speak. And that's what he did. So these were teachable moments. And the crazy thing is that as I'm speaking here, it might relate to so many of y'all. It might relate to so many of y'all. And if I had some of my family members in here, some of them think of that I was talking about them. If I didn't say it happened yesterday. What we need to start doing is being accountable for what we do and what we say to people. And when we wrong. And when we didn't get it right. We need to be humble and we need to apologize to them. I know what God has done for me. I know what God has done for my family. I know what God has done for my friends. I know what God has done for a lot of my fans. But we still have to be accountable for the actions. But also, we still got to know when the season is over. Like I said, I am no preacher. I just speak. Before I even came here, I went and I prayed and I asked God to decrease me to increase you so I can be able to speak to these people out here. Because the thing is, it's time for us to start to heal. It's start to not only try to heal ourselves, but to help others to heal. My purpose and my platform has always been to help aid someone in their healing, to use my story, to use my journey, to use my experience as a teaching for them. But not only that, for a testimony to them is that you can, you will. So what I'm going to do on this one, we're going to take a quick break. And then we're going to come back. I didn't mean to get too deep that quickly because I did want to make it fun, but God said, no, you got to give it real, raw, and authentic in this conversation. Because that's what we do here at Ask Nyomi Bridging the Gap podcast. Mm-hmm. And we'll be back.
Hey, it's your girl, the Goddess, Nyomi Banks. And are you ready to get shaped by the Goddess? Well, you go over to shadegoddess.net where we have all the sexy luxury style glasses for both men and women that you can get your sexy on. You can go out looking like a goddess or a god. But make sure you check out Shade Goddess, shadegoddess.net. I'm getting officially shaded by the goddess at ShayGoddess.net. Hey, my sexy people, it's your girl, the goddess Nyomi Banks. And I finally did it. I've written my first book. Well, actually, it's the living journal. It's called Good Morning, My Sexy People. Where I share my stories in different posts, but help a healing workbook for you. So it's 90 days to kick off your healing living journey. Pre-purchase now. Go to AskNyomi.com and hit shop. Listen.
All right, welcome back to Ask Naomi Bridging the Gap podcast, where we talk about love, sex, relationship, cultural differences, and so much more. But tonight, our topic is on how to know when a season is over in relationships. And if you're just joining us right now, I just told about a teaching moment that I had yesterday that God truly had to tell me and show me to definitely, it was time to move on. But it was something that I prayed on. And that's the big truth. I truly prayed on to remove people around me in peace. I don't want to kind of get all the way down in it, because once you start to do that, it starts to bring something up, other stuff up. You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And so I don't want to do that. I just wanted to use my example on when it's time to move on for that other season. And when I say, oh my God, when I say that this talented young lady, very intelligent, incredible, beautiful, and have everything in the world that she can do whatever it is that she wants to do. I don't know why she sees that of me to come at me on these occasions like that. And it wasn't like it was every time. It wasn't like that. That's the thing. It wasn't like that. But those two specific times that it came after, it was 3. I just put back the other one. But he showed me. And as my man told me, he said, you know what, baby? You always see the good in people, and you always open up your heart to people, because my heart is Ethel's and Martha's. Ethel and Martha is my grandmothers, and they have very big hearts. Their hearts where they will always take in other people's kids. They will always take in people and, and try to help them. That was my grandmother's, and that's who I come from. That's where my heart comes from. But God is teaching me now is that I'm glad that you have that heart, but now you have to do it in discernment. And I hate even talking like this, because that ain't how I talk. You understand? But again, this is not me talking. This is God just coming through me and talking in this way. Is that no matter who it is, you have to, because they are not aligned with you and what I have for you. They're not a part of that. Maybe he has something else for her. But I hate the way that it happened. I hate the way that it happened. And I'm just going to be honest. And I hate if any of y'all going through this right now, man, really go pray. Ask God to find the words that you can address that situation and move on. And just like Tyler Perry said, don't be afraid of letting that go, or letting them go, because you're going to be all right. They only meant to be there for a season. We have to stop holding on. I believe we did a show about this, about staying in the relationships, like love relationships, for so long when you outlive that season of it. That's like we putting on a pair of pants that's out of season, or not the size we are anymore. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. That's like when you got all that stuff in the closet and you just got all that stuff packed in there, and instead of getting rid of it, you steady trying to think, well, I'm gonna get back to that size. I'm gonna get back to that, and that's how we do with people. Or we're gonna go back to where we was, the old way we was. You know what I'm saying? We gonna go back there, and no, we ain't. You know why? Because there is hurt and there is baggage that's in there. And when there is no accountability that is taken, that's gonna always be there. See, I'm a type of person, I'm gonna talk about it right then and there. because I want to just miss every miscommunication, because I want you to know exactly what I feel and what I'm saying and what I heard you say. And if it was wrong, please tell me. But like I always tell, I can't expect me and others. I can't expect me and others. So this baby sat on this for 3 months. I know quite most people that do that because they're not ready to talk about it. But see, if we would have talked about it in that one moment in that time, it would have only took a second and you would have understood. And that's just real. So y'all think about it. Y'all think about it. How many times y'all had a conversation with somebody and they come back to you months later? They haven't addressed the issue right then and there, but they come to you months later on some other stuff and they bring it up. And you're like, why you didn't address it then? When it was happening? Well, because I had knows, you know what this happens? This is when you allow it to fester. This is when you allow for you to have the stories in your mind, in your head, and all of those things. And let me tell you something. I was doing that too. Not with her, but I was doing that with other situations. Like even before something good can happen for me, let me tell you something. I had a whole story in my head on what could happen wrong. I wasn't even talking about what can happen right. I had a whole story on what can happen wrong.
Wow.
And it was like, what is you doing? What is you doing? Right now, I'm giving you something good and you thinking about what wrong can happen with it. Not living in the blessing of it. You know what I mean?
I hear you.
We got to stop doing this. We got to stop doing this. And if you outlived that season with somebody and moved on, then that's what it is. And the thing is, you don't know, they might come around another season down the line. But for me, this one won't be. It won't. And I've asked God to forgive me for me not, and it ain't not me not being unforgiving. It's not. It's not. It's just I know better now.
Wow.
I asked God to remove people from me, and that is what he's been doing. And when I say he's been blessing me with people to bring around me and in my circle to be able to do, let me tell you something. Before I got on this thing, I had a meeting at 3:00 with a young lady. Now I saw this young lady throughout the industry several different times, and she offered her service to me. And I'm very hard on like receiving a lot of things. I don't. And I was telling her about my budget and what I had. And then she said, even if you don't have that, I got you because I believe in what you're doing. I want to be a part of that. And in that moment, I'm going to be very honest with y'all. I was crying. You know why I was crying? Because I've been so obedient to what God has asked me to do. And I know a lot of people who going to rewatch this over again or rehear this on the Western Ever say, how can she say she used to do porn? Yes, I did. I used to do porn. I cheated on my husband. I did all of those things. But guess what also I did? I asked my husband for forgiveness. And then my other husband, I said my other husband, that was just toxic anyway. But I've already lived my truth. So now there is nothing else that you can say or you can do to me to bring me down. You understand? That used to be my fear. How am I going to get out here and speak to people and talk to people? Not that I am high, because remember, I'm imperfect. And that's what he used. He used imperfect people so you can relate to people. I talk about sexuality because I am a sexual being. I talk about spirituality because I am a spiritual being. I am a human being. That's what I talk about. So I can relate to people. I've been married, divorced, single mother. You understand? I've been broke. I've been rich. You understand? I've been all of those things. I had family members that had substance abuse. I've seen it all. I've been it all. I've been there. I've seen everything. So now I understand why I am where I am at now. And I'm ready and I'm good with it. I'm good with it. But if you're watching, anybody watching, be good with you too. Don't hurt nobody. Don't harm nobody. And if you ain't living in your truth, go find your truth. Go find your truth. Go find who you are. Don't try to take nobody else down because you ain't living in your truth. Don't do that. Don't do that. Do you know how many people you are hurting when you ain't living in your truth? And I'm talking to everybody that's looking, everybody. You know how many people you hurting when you ain't living in your truth. When you in relationships that are so toxic that your kids see you fighting. Your kids see the abuse. Your kids see all of that. You know what that does? You know what that does with them kids? Them kids go out and they go meet somebody else's kids. And what that do? What does that do, Mike? That builds more toxic relationships.
Make everything worse.
Now you're putting that out in the world. You know how I can say this? Because with my first one, I was in a toxic relationship. So now I know when my oldest daughter do something, I know where that came from. That's come from with her watching me do. So every chance I get, I apologize to her and I make it right. I take accountability for what I've shown her. Because at that moment in time, I didn't know how to leave those seasons. You know what I'm saying? When the season was over in the relationship, I steady tried to stay in them relationships. Right. But in them relationships, when I didn't leave and go out of those, what did I do? I showed my daughter something else for her to stay in a relationship when it's beyond its season.
Sometimes people don't see the signs of those relationships.
No.
And you know something, and especially when you're dealing with loved ones,
yes,
and family members, signs all over the place. But most people don't want to see them.
No.
And they there, but you don't want to see them. You don't want to believe that a family member, a wife, a husband, a committed relate. You don't want to see that there are bad signs there.
No, you don't.
You know?
No, you don't.
And you do everything we do things to hide those signs.
We do. And you know what, let me say this, and I'm gonna speak on this. It was one of my girlfriends. She's been a girlfriend for over 20 years. And we had a really big and I don't even want to say it was a misunderstanding. We had a really bad break. And the bad break, and I had to take account on what my part was in there. And after, you know, I text her and I said, you know, I apologize, but she also apologized to me for her thing.
Okay.
You know, we no longer talk, but I wish her and her kids nothing but goodwill, good energy. And maybe in this season, this is not where we're supposed to be, but maybe it's somewhere down the line. And I will with open arms, embrace her in, especially if she do the work like I'm doing my work. You understand what I'm saying? So maybe I could have been too heavy for her. So I had to be, you know, fall off of her as she had to fall off of me. And that's what we got to realize. It's not always about that other person. We also got to look at ourselves and say, you know what? Am I truly holding this person back? You know? Am I truly holding this person back? And when you think about it, you have to think about it first with love. Again, I'm going to say this. I am not a victim in this at all. I would not wear the victim. What I learned from this is what I learned because I was hard-headed. This needed to happen because I needed to shut that door. And I needed to walk into my season. As long as I keep holding on to those, I can't go nowhere. Anyway, it took me a whole another 2 years to learn this all over again. And he said, I need you now. I showed you something. I need you now. I gave your auntie a miracle. I need you now. I'm just speaking. I ain't preaching.
but you know something, and this is a great topic because, and you said it too. You said it. All of your experiences and things, even if a person there for the season, they ain't all bad. Yes, you're in a bad situation, but there are some people in your life that are only there for a season, but they help, they good, and then yes, they do fall off. Going back to the Tyler Perry thing, which I totally hear what he's saying, but one thing I got out of it is that rocket needed those boosters to get to a certain point.
Yes, they did.
A rocket can't take off without those boosters.
Exactly.
But at a certain period of time, when they fall off, there is a way to fall off in peace, like you said. And that's what your family members should have realized. It's a way to fall off in peace. Yes. I can't go on that journey with Nyomi now, but there's a way to fall off in peace and let her know that I'm with you, I'm supporting you, but I can't go to that next level with you. And that's what people really need to get to, They really do need to know it ain't all bad.
Right.
But you said that in peace.
In peace.
Yeah.
I always ask to leave in peace. I do. And, I got a little hot head, but actually she didn't see nowhere near the hot head that I am or that I was. Nowhere near. Nowhere near. All right, so since we're talking about this healing and everything like that, if you guys are in Vegas and you guys coming to ABN weekend, I will be doing an event. It'll be the kickoff to the Ask Nyomi Tour, to where it will be healing yourself through spirituality and sexuality, where I have a panel of specialists, sexuality, spiritual, healing, in those things there that can truly, it's like an open conversation amongst individuals and couples that we can truly help heal the world. In this and me doing this, this is a part of my journey. The way I want to start it started off at city to city, but then I wanted to go it's going to go international, to where we start to change the way that we view each other and that we can sit and understand the conversations that we had. So remember earlier in the show when I said that I felt like I kind of took a step back, or I kind of failed myself because in the response that I had to this beautiful young lady, it was hurt. It was pure hurt. And I gave her something. I gave her my hurt. And no, I gave her my hurt. And I probably shouldn't have gave her my hurt, but I gave it to her. Because I wanted her to know that I'm a real one. My hair might be fake. If I'm wearing contacts, it might be fake. My boobs, that's it. But me inside, I'm as real as you can get.
It is.
I'm just saying. But I had wanted Mike to put up this yesterday.
Hey, it's your girl, the goddess Nyomi Banks, and I know you guys have been seeing this fire going around all week. Well, Ask Nyomi Bridging the Gap podcast presents the Ask Nyomi Kickoff Tour, and it's kicking off in Las Vegas, January 6, 2023, with myself, Mr. Marcus, Mother Jackie, Bianca Will, and Sapphire. Now, you're wondering, how can we have sexuality and spirituality in the same room? And I know also you're wondering, how can we heal from that? Well, you got to purchase your ticket to find out. This is definitely going to be a great experience, a great event. You tag the Eventbrite link that's followed here. As I always say, always keep it sexy.
Healed, I'm going to heal you, even though you don't want to be healed. God said He gonna heal you.
All right. Church.
He gonna heal you. So let me tell you something right here. So let me go like this. All right. So remember a few weeks ago I told y'all that I had gotten a new prescription right on my contacts and my glasses. So I got my glasses back.
Where they at?
They right here. And so I was like, I told Mike, I said, I need to see if I can see this without my, so I have no contacts on and I have my glasses are right here with no glasses. So I was trying to see if I can see your comments over here so I can talk to you. Cause I see my BTG crew. I didn't say, hey to all of y'all, but I want to say, hey, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on? And I truly appreciate y'all for continuing to come out and support me here, right here on the live. Right here live, and I do. I love you all. I say nothing but love and good vibes to everyone. Yeah, that I do. So let me do this because actually I gotta ask Nyomi later, and let me say this because I know a lot of people have been writing in, and I had kind of been, kind of putting that on the back burner some. Sorry, but I'm going to get back to it. Like I said before, I'm going to really get back to it. But in this one conversation, in this one letter, I thought it was cute. I was speaking to my sister at this time when I was reading, and I said, I'm going to go ahead and do Ask Nyomi. So maybe, because I knew this conversation was going to get a little deep, so we can kind of lighten it up a little bit. And I'm going to want y'all to, once we take this break and we come back with Ask Nyomi later, I want y'all to be able to, give me, some feedback on what y'all say. I'm going to tell y'all what I said. And then I want y'all to, I know it's been a minute since we did this. But we're going to do this. So right now we're going to take a break. And then we're going to come back with Ask Nyomi Bridging the Gap. No, Ask Nyomi letter. But this is Ask Nyomi Bridging the Gap podcast. All right, let's go.
Hey, my sexy people. It's your girl, the goddess Nyomi Banks. And I finally did it. I've written my first book. Well, actually, it's a living journal. It's called Good Morning, My Sexy People. Where I share my stories in different posts, but help a healing workbook for you. So it's 90 days to kick off your healing living journey. Pre-purchase now. Go to AskNyomi.com and hit shop. Listen. Hey, it's your girl, the goddess Nyomi Banks. And are you ready to get shaped by the goddess? Well, you go over to shadegoddess.net where we have all the sexy luxury style glasses for both men and women. That you can get your sexy on. You can go out looking like a goddess or a god. But make sure you check out Shade Goddess, the shadegoddess.net. Come get officially shaded by the goddess at shadegoddess.net.
That in so long. All right, so let me tell you about this letter right here. She says, Dear Nyomi, I enjoyed your podcast very much, and I think you give good relationship advice. I have this situation with this guy I was seeing for almost 3 years. We recently broke up because I found out that his business partner's youngest daughter was his. This is a long explanation, but to make a very messy long story short, his business partner is married to his friend. He will make mention of the business partner about how all of her 9 kids don't belong to the husband and how she asked him if he wanted to be a part of their village. He told her, hell no. My problem with the whole thing is he spoke badly about her, but at the same time, he was messing with her too and lied. I have cut off communication and really haven't given him the opportunity to explain. He has now been trying to make me meet up with him to explain. Part of me wants to, but the other part is saying no explanation needed. What do you think? Wow. Lit. Her name is Lit. All right, so Lit. This is what I said to Lit. Run, Lit. Run, bitch, run.
Hey, that's a sign for your ass.
Right, I said run. So this is what I said in all serious. Red flags are flying high on this one. I said he's already exposed himself to you that he is not to be trusted. I said we have to pay attention to the signs. I told her that I will be reading this for you guys online. I'm here on live on the show to kind of get y'all feedback. Definitely you, Dog Pound Mike, as well as my BTG crew. And I said, but no, you don't need to hear any explanations. His actions were self-explanatory. Thank you for sharing, Nyomi. So, Miss Lit, I don't know if you're gonna hear it because you said you listen to the podcast, so you will hear it. So for me, yes, baby, run as far as you can. Really, seriously, that season is over. The season is over. So actually, it was a lesson that we're supposed to learn in this season right here. So there was a lesson that you're supposed to learn, and I hope you learned that lesson that was in that. What you got to say about that, Dog Pound Mike? Like
you said, run. Something? I would have ran when she just told the story about the dude working with somebody who got 9 kids.
For real.
But like we said, you gotta pick up on the signs. I mean, that was a sign there. Yeah. Because of what's going on, and just even him coming back talking about the woman that and one of the kids end up here. She should have called those kind of signs too. She said saw all that. So yeah, like you said, it's simple. You run. That whole thing that ain't gonna break up in peace. Right. That's breaking up in pieces. That's over with. It's gone. Right.
Right. All right, so I'm gonna go to the comments. So I'm gonna try to read this as best as I can. And so if I can't, then I'm gonna have Dog Pound Mike come on in here with me. So look, I try to put on my glasses. That didn't make it no better. Right. That did not make it no better. I don't know what. I'm gonna have to go to a whole new eye doctor because the prescription is wrong.
Okay, we're gonna start this one off with Jeff.
All right, Jeff. He said, I have been in this kind of things.
Please tell.
Wait, hold on. What kind of things? Let me hold on. Did you been with somebody with 9 kids and you were one of the daddies of the 9 kids, or what? But please explain yourself. But while you typing to explain yourself, go to somebody else because I need to see who I was talking over here. All right, Charmaine said I would have been running like the training for the Olympics. Yes,
would be like FloJo.
Right.
Okay, here goes Jeff is explaining now.
All right, thank you so much, Jeff. I kicked that person to the curb. I moved on and can't be happier. That's good. That the thing, and for real, Lit, if you're listening, baby, first of all, I want to say thank you. Thank you for writing in and trusting her. And I wasn't gonna get too deep with it because from the beginning it was like run.
Exactly, yeah.
And that's it, like run. You already know. What we have to do is we have to stop second guessing ourselves. When we have that gut feeling to leave and go, then that's what we need to do. Mm-hmm. Stop being fearful. That's the thing. And who are you fearful of? And why are you fearful? You understand what I'm saying? Just as you got that man, you'll be able to get another one. You understand what I'm saying? That is not that man that's supposed to be with you. You don't want that toxic. You don't want all of that. You don't want to be a part of that village.
And they still got a village.
Right.
And the thing is, like you said, it's like being fearful, being scared, being, some people do. They get caught up in love or caught up in a situation where they feel that they can't be without that person in their lives.
Yeah.
And you can. If it's toxic there, if you know things are not right, you have to go.
Right. You know the funny thing is that I just remember quite a few of my girlfriends were in situations, and they stayed in situations because that significant other would always tell them that they wouldn't amount to anything, that they couldn't have anything. And then when I say quite a few of my girlfriends, and usually the men that say that is because they ain't gonna find nobody as good as you, and that's to be honest. And so they want to keep you in that mode. They want to keep belittling you down. Not to say that's not what happened with you, Lit. I don't think I don't know. But I know that it's quite a few that's happened with throughout my years. I remember even speaking of my girlfriends that are lesbians, the same situation. So it's not a man or a woman thing. That's just a personal thing with people, period.
Right.
When people are insecure about and they with someone that they feel that might outshine them or might outgrow them, they will try to break them down to where they won't leave. You understand what I'm saying? And I guess and that actually that letter was so fitting for this episode of leaving. Remove yourself. That season is over.
Right.
It's out. It's gone. It's so no, let go. Don't you go back. Block his number. Block his number, block his email, block all of that.
Don't let him slip back in the DMs.
Don't let him come back in them. No, don't let him slip in the DM. Block him. Block him. Block him. BLOCK. Block him. All across the board. And even if y'all got friends together, don't even talk to them for a little bit.
And sometimes and that situation happens too. You can get that person out of your life, but then sometimes you have to get the friends that y'all was adjoining with out of this, out of your life too, just so you can move on completely.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. Yeah. You do. You have to. You have to. All right, so let me go this. We're gonna go to comments. Do we have any more comments about this letter? I'm about to fire dog pound Mike back because he don't even be listening. Spider Moose, what's going on, Spider Moose? Spider Moose said people get comfortable with their own ideas on how things are instead of how they actually are.
I see what you're saying.
Okay, you go. How you doing, Spider Moose? All right, Yoshi, how you doing, baby? The co-parenting excuse is gaslighting. Be careful with that too. I don't want to leave my kids. They need us together as a. Oh yes, that's truly a big thing. With the co-parenting, I myself have went through the co-parenting thing with my first relationship, and on my end, I tried to be the very best baby mama ex-wife as possible. Was not being bitter. My love for my child override my disdain for him, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate that his hatred for me override his love for his child. And I know he probably gonna watch this, so somebody gonna show him this, but he know what the truth is. He's not all the way a bad person because he was able to help me, bless me with a beautiful, beautiful girl, beautiful queen. That's very talented in her own right. But we're gonna have a show on co-parenting. And we gonna get down. So I'm gonna make sure I wanna talk with you, Miss Yoshi. Miss Yoshi, I want to talk to you about that, and I would love to have you on the show and talk. You don't have to show your face either. We can just hear your voice so you can give your input on what it is. But that is a lot of people stay together because of the children, especially when they do have children for that. But sometimes we do more harm in that situation than anything.
Right.
Than anything. Yeah, we do. All right, we got some more?
That's about it on the topic.
All right, disdain is a good word. One of my favorites. I'm glad you like that, Spider Moose. All right, do me a favor. Go scroll up because folks was talking before all the way up. Mike don't like to scroll. He don't like to scroll. I don't know what's about that. He don't like to scroll. That's like moonwalking. We moonwalking on a on a thing. All right, T Brian, baby. It can be painful when those seasons end, yes, but everybody can't go with you into your new season. And that is so true. Especially that's why it hit so home for me when Tyler Perry said we want those people to be in our life forever. And when you do see, especially when you have the love and a connection and a relationship that you thought that you had with this person, that they no longer there. And that's why I asked God to remove these people in peace. And so let me say this. So even with the text that she texted me with, and I'm gonna go back. And she said, don't call her because she didn't want to talk about it. But you called me something. I felt like that was calling me out my name and judging my character. So I had to respond back to that in a manner because that's not true. And I'm going to allow you to make that, for you to say that's not true. You understand? And it could have been, she could have called me and it wouldn't have blew up if she would have called me first before the text. But when you see a text, when you see a text, you looking at it and you giving it voices. Mm-hmm. And that's the real, you giving it voices. See, I'm a storyteller. And what I mean, I'm a writer. So when I'm looking at it and you tell me when the last time you saw me, and it's been, it's been, you've been harboring it. Yeah. And I see your movements that you've been doing otherwise. So now I got to look at you sideways because, you could always came to me and talk to me and I would have told you what it was.
Yeah, them texts do get to you because when you read it like you put your own attitude on it. You put your own emotion on it. And from the text, that's the way it sounds. But a phone call and the words, the first thing of the words would have been totally different than what the text was.
Right, but when you tell me, when you say to me, don't call me because I don't want to talk about it. Yeah. Well, if you didn't want to talk about it, why text me?
Exactly. That's communication.
If you didn't want to talk about it, why text me?
Right. You're all right.
See, I can say some other things about this. Ironically, how things happen, but God had to show me. Because you had 3 months to say this to me.
Yep.
So if any of my other family members, any of my friends, anybody wants to say, y'all better talk to me in the next 24 to 48 hours. No, I'm just kidding. Wow. But no lie, but I did ask God. I said, ask God, please show me. If there's anybody else, show me now. Show me now so I can, get rid of them. And what I mean, get rid of them is so I can go in peace. I can go in peace and say, I love you. All right, bye, peace. Go.
Right.
Bye. Bye-bye. Yeah. We got some more.
We got Jeff from earlier.
Well, I'm sure we all have people in our life that does to use, need to forgive sometimes. I forgave. But I can forgive and you not be in my life ever again.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can forgive.
I can forgive.
That don't mean that person is still in your life.
No.
Yeah.
Not at all. Not at all. Not at all. But this is what I'm going to do because we almost at that time. First of all, I want to say thank you. I see I wear my bracelet today. Mm-hmm. Thank you so much. I finally wore it right here. Thank you. This is a birthday gift. So I finally actually matched my outfit. So I was able to wear it. Thank you so much. But again, guys, make sure my book is out. It's a workbook. It's a workbook. And I truly know that it really will help y'all heal. It really would. And even on these seminars that we're going to be doing, I want to do something special even within that, in that tool of it. So I want to just say hi to everybody. I'm going to say all your name. Joseph, baby, how you doing? Charmaine, Deborah, how you doing? Beautiful. Spider Moose. Did I say Charmaine already? Charmaine, Mark, how you doing? Jeff, how you doing, baby? T Brown, how you doing, baby? Amin. Who else I saw? I saw some other folks. Jewel. I seen quite a few people. I don't even know how to say that. E. I'm gonna call you E, baby. I'm gonna call you E. But I want to thank all of you guys for continuing to come and support me. And I want to make sure that I shout out my boys, the Elements, for my theme song. I thank you so much for you always come and show up for me every single time. Every single time. Thank you, Yoshi, for coming in as well. To everybody. So next week, we will be here next week, but we're going to be a little late on the live. On the live, we're going to be a little late on the live, but we will be here. We will be here. So I hope truly that you guys truly understood and felt the conversation, and if anything, that it helped y'all to move from one season to another and just know when to release it. With healing is look at it as a positive. Look at it that you know that as God remove people from your life, that he's bringing in good people, that he's getting ready to elevate you. And look at it as that way. And that has been my healing mechanism for that, is that I know that God has something so special for me that he has to remove people around me. And like I said, he might need me to remove me from her so she can elevate in her own way over there. And I'm going to take that. I'm going to take that. But I know that he had to remove her and other people out of my life for me to be able to elevate as well. So as I always say, be good to one another and yourselves. And wait a minute, I'm not going to say nothing yet because I got an airplane going. I got an airplane going right here.
You live in the flight path.
Yes.
You live in the flight path.
Yes. But this is the loudest that it's ever been. This is truly the loudest that it's ever been. But let me say this too. So, and then I should have said this after the Ask Nyomi letter. So if you need love, sex, relationship advice, email me at info@asknaomi.com. And I know I got a few letters from people that ask me, you know, what's the rules or whatever like that. Let me tell you something. Just be respectful. You can say these words. You can say the words that, you know, but don't come and play in there. You know, don't do that. But come in and be, you can ask questions. I'll help you out as best as I can. And what I don't know, I would definitely go and research some of the things for you if I don't know it. I would never give out any information that is not correct. I would try my best to help, and then I would be very honest if I can't help you. That's what I will be very honest in. All right, so let me end this again. Thank you all again, BTG crew. Dog Pound Mike, thank you. It's always good. It's always good. All right, be good to yourself and one another. This is your girl, the goddess Nyomi Banks. See y'all next week.
Hey, it's the goddess Nyomi Banks. And I hope you enjoyed that last episode of Ask Nyomi Bridging the Gap. And if you did, please like, subscribe, press that notification button, as well as comment. I'll see you next week. Keep it sexy.
Ask Nyomi Bridging the Gap. This is where we talk about love, sex, relationships, cultural differences, and so much more.